Welcome Strategy Battle Games to another GBHL YouTube video, and you're here with your host GBHL Damian, and this is one of my hobby vlogs. Oh my god, I've done one. Yep, I am back with my first hobby vlog in about 10 weeks, I believe. I think the last one was on November the 10th, and the reason for that is very simple. Between now and then, I haven't done any hobbying, really, anything of any note, and it's been a very kind of busy 3 months for me. And I haven't actually done anything worth showing since then, which is a real shame. I've been working on some stuff for the channel, I've been working on a bit of stuff for the magazine, and I've just had a very busy real life, which stopped me doing everything. But hopefully that's all settled down now, and as we start a new year, I'm hoping to be doing a little more hobbying. So it's time to kind of catch up on what I've been doing in this week, because I've been working on this guy. Remember him? Remember him from back at the end of October? Yep, it's Thor, and he is very, very nearly finished. He's not quite there, but have a look at him. There he is. This is how my Thor is currently looking. And I'm really, really pleased with him. Really, really happy with how this guy came out. He needs a little more work on another extra highlight on his beard and hair, just to bring that out a bit, but I'm not sure how well you'll see, but I'm very, very happy with the face and the eyes in there. It looks cool. I like the gold effect on the armour. As I said, I had to go and watch the video to find out, but I started with Auric Armour Gold, is it? Yeah, Auric Armour Gold, and then washed it with the old GW Chestnut Wash, and then I've basically worked it up with burnished gold highlights. And then I actually did some edge highlighting with Runefang Steel, and then kind of dulled that down to make it more yellowy by using a Seraphim Sepia wash. So it was kind of a bit of an experimental process where I was just kind of adding different colours as I went to until I got to an effect I was happy with. But you can kind of see it. It's kind of hard to show it with the gold, but I think you can see it quite well on the shield there. But it's a truly, truly gorgeous model who is oh so very close to being finished. So I'm really, really pleased to have been picking up the brush again over the last few weeks. My hope is that I might get to finish him for good tonight or tomorrow, and also do a base on it. And when I do a base, I'm going to do a little tutorial on how I do my bases, because a long time ago Sam Jeffrey asked me to do that, and I haven't forgotten. It's just I literally have not done haven't finished a base since he asked me back in November. So yeah, be looking out for that. So very happy with Thor. He's coming along nicely. Other plans for this week are then to move over here, remember these guys, and try and finish Barlin. So my hope is that when I see you next week, which I'm sure I will now, Thor will be done and that Barlin will be done, and then I'm going to move on to Thorin, who I think I can make a good start. I think he'll be relatively easy to paint, and then finally I'm going to do Dwalin, and this little project will be over. And then once they're done, I'm going to start on my next project. Now I'm recording this on Monday, and to introduce my next project, I'm going to go back in time to Friday night. Okay guys, so what I'm now going to do is show you the kind of next project I've been working on. So hopefully you've seen where Thor's up to, but I've gone back in time, because as of yet I'm recording this on Friday night, and I haven't shot that bit with Thor, because I think I'm going to do that on Sunday night when he's a bit more finished. So I think I've already talked you through that, and I've now gone back in time to Friday to show you what will be up next, because I hope to make some progress on these guys over the weekend that I wouldn't be able to show you if I didn't do this now. So this is my next kind of project, my project that's going to be taking me through the next 2 months, and hopefully will be inspiring me to keep up these hobby vlogs, because I haven't been doing a lot of hobby recently. As you've seen from the lack of hobby vlogs, I just haven't finished a model in about 2 months. Thor and Barlin have just been sitting there part finished. So when I get those done and I get the other dwarfs done, I'm going to be moving on to something, and my target for this is March the 7th, I believe. It's the March 7th, maybe March 15th. It's the Battle for East Rivenstead tournament, and I will show you what that army is going to be now. So here we have it. You might well have seen these in various unboxing videos, that sort of thing in the past, but this is my Mirkwood elf army. So as you can see, we've got Tariel, some elves, some of the cavalry, more elves, Thranduil, and more elves. So this is all the kind of new stuff I got from the elf contingent, and it was what I'm going to put together for a 750 point tournament. So it's going to be these guys and some Palace Guard. I've got a box of Palace Guard that I might dig out and show you, that I've had undercoated and ready to go for over a year, since Christmas 2013, but just never particularly got around to painting them. And I'm really glad I didn't, because what I'm now going to do is paint them in the same colour scheme as these, so they kind of fit into the Battle of Five Armies theme. But this is what I've got to get done by by the middle of March, which for most people wouldn't be that much, but I paint quite slowly, and I think it is going to be a challenge. So I don't need Tariel for that army, because I'm going to be using the other Tariel. I do need all 12 of these armoured elves, and I do need Thranduil done. The knights, if necessary, can be replaced by more Palace Guard. So I've essentially got kind of 20 models to do, most of which are troops. So it's definitely doable, but I don't know, I'm hopeful. But the reason I'm showing you this now is because over this weekend I'm currently back at my folks' house visiting, and I've brought my kind of cleaning up tools, and I'm hoping that I assemble some of these models over the weekend while I'm back here and I can't do any painting. Whether or not I get anything done on that, I don't know, but this is the start of my projects that hopefully we'll see over the next few weeks kind of developing into something. But yeah, so hopefully be looking out for that, and fingers crossed I'll get ready for that tournament. Okay, so here we are back again on Monday. So you saw the kind of stuff I'd hoped to do while I was back at my folks, and I'm delighted to say I made loads of progress. I had a really great weekend. My parents just sitting in the lounge, chatting, watching TV, and cleaning up these models. And as we can see, I've actually done more than I was hoping to. I've done Tariel, I've done the Armoured Captain, I've done all the bowmen, all the swordsmen, and all the guys with the glaives. So loads and loads of cleaning up done. I absolutely despise cleaning up models. It's a horrible process that I always think is a kind of time that I could be painting as a waste of time, but I thoroughly believe that the more time you spend cleaning them up, the better they will look at the end. These guys took an awful long time to clean up. There's a lot of flash. Fine cast troops tend to have this. I think they're called vents, the little triangles where the resin's kind of poured down into the mould, and there was a lot on them. And I reckon, roughly speaking, to clean up each one of these models, it was taking me about 40 minutes. So about 30 to 40 minutes per model to clean these up and to get rid of everything and to tidy them all up. But I have to say, the models are stunning. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but the depth in the helmets in particular is fantastic. Really, really good details, quite deep in the helmet. The poses are incredible. I really liked these models when I saw them on the website, but it's only when you really get them in your hand that you see how good they are. They're very, very, very slight. I think this is true of a lot of Lord of the Rings models, where they look a bit bulkier and a little chunkier on the website, and when you get them, they're very, very nice models. They went together pretty well. I think, was it that guy? One of them, it might have been this pose, had a bit of a tricky kind of join. Yes, this one. See up on the wrist there. You can see there's a bit of a gap that's going to need a bit of green stuff in. So that's the only stage I haven't done on these guys. I haven't done any green stuff in where I need to. But the poses are incredible, absolutely incredible. This guy's fantastic. I think a little bit of bending was needed with some hot water on the feet just to make them stand up straight, and on a few of the elf blades, but very, very simple to do. It's another cracking pose. They're really, really beautiful models. Very impressed with these. Like, you spend a lot of time, if you clean them up for like 40 minutes each, obviously spend a lot of time looking at each individual sculpt. That's a fantastic pose. Someone else actually wrote in the group that this was their favourite pose of the whole of the Hobbit range. I'm not quite sure I'd go that far, but it is fantastic. So yeah, they go together pretty well, but they will require a fair bit of cleaning up. But no notable miscasts or anything. There's a couple of air bubbles that are normally down here, like at the bottom of the cloak. You can kind of see one in there, but they're only in areas that you will never ever notice. Not a single one of these has been in any way what I would call ruined. So I think that a lot of the new Hobbit Finecast is actually very good quality, to be honest. There was a bit of a discussion about that. I think it might have got deleted. I couldn't find the thread. You see this guy's kind of floating because I've glued him down by his cloak and his foot, so I need to kind of green stuff a little rock under that foot just to give him a bit of support. It's another fantastic pose. But yeah, the metal versus Finecast argument raged again on the group at one point. And I have to say, after working with these for a long time, because obviously this has taken me about at least 7 hours all in over the weekend, I like working with Finecast. I've cleaned up a lot of metal models in my time, and I prefer working with Finecast. It's easier to clean up. That model is just stunning. It's really annoying that, because he's an unnamed captain, you're almost never going to take him, because he's only going to ever leave your 4th warband. And maybe then you'd still take a Mirkwood captain, I don't know. But this model is just incredible. And people moan about Finecast, but the detail on that hand with the finger and everything is just incredible. Really, really good face. It's a beautiful model. I've still got plans to kind of potentially get another version of this and convert Thranduil, because I thought this model would make an incredible Thranduil. And finally Tariel. And Tariel was the hardest one to assemble, because she's obviously a very dynamic model. It's very cool with all this, but this segment, her arm here and her hair are a separate element, and you can see the crack there where they join up, which is going to need green stuff in. And you could push it further in and make that tighter, but then you're left with a giant gap here down the middle of her hair there. So I've ended up going for it like that. I just need to do some little green stuff work, which is kind of annoying. This is the only miscast I came across. If you look just in here where this piece joins up, that should obviously go to the belt. So there's been a bit of a miscast, but that's relatively easy to sort with a bit of green stuff. So this is a stunning model again, really, really feminine. It's a very, very slight pose that looks far more like Tariel than the previous version. So yeah, I spent a lot of time working with them, and it's easier to clean these up. I remember filing away at metal models used to take a very long time. So it's an easier process, and the metal stuff used to stink, and I prefer working with Finecast, but it takes longer. There's no denying that Finecast models have more flash than the metal ones used to. So I would say they probably, it's hard to put a number on it, but they probably take about twice as long to clean up as a metal model did, but it's a better process. I think it's easier to do, so I don't mind it as much. I remember cleaning up the mould lines on some Rohan Royal Guard, and it was just a hideous experience. It was all running down the middle of the shield, and it was really hard to remove. But these guys, the lines and the flash are very easy to remove. It's just that there's more of it. So ultimately, are they worth the additional price? Probably not. It's probably, it's an easier material to work with, but the fact it takes longer kind of mitigates against that. So it shouldn't cost any more. But vis-a-vis Sailor V, that's the way of the world. Ultimately, you pay a lot of money for these models, so I think it's worth taking a lot of time to clean them up. So yeah, there's a couple of little bits of green stuff in that I need to do, not a lot, but crucially, I'm really pleased that I got these guys done when I was away. It was kind of good, effective use of potential hobby time, so that when I'm here, I don't waste time cleaning stuff up because I could be painting it. So these guys are the start of that project I was talking about for the tournament. You can expect to see them once those 4 damn dwarfs are finished. So hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll start getting some paint onto these guys. So yeah, there we go. That's the end of my hobby vlog, which is probably going to be around 15 minutes because there's been a fair bit to catch up on this week. So I'm really, really pleased to be back in the loop, as it were. I'm enjoying hobbying at the moment, and hopefully as the new year goes on, my vlogs will become a regular thing again. So look out for another one next Monday, where I'll hopefully have a couple of completed dwarfs to show you. Until then, don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Support your hobby, and happy strategy battle gaming.